Okay, right. Okay, I've just written in chat box. So, good evening and welcome. Sorry, my thing is shaking. It's on a stand. So yeah, good evening here in the UK. It is the strawberry full moon. Okay, so this is the full moon for June. June is a big month. Wherever you are in the world, I'm gonna imagine it's probably quite summery, quite warm. So embracing that sun energy where you can. Oh, we have Naomi on the live. Yes, you made it from the beginning. Amazing to have you, Naomi. How are you feeling with this current full moon today? How are the energies resonating for you? So in today's live, whether you're on the channel watching live or whether you're going to watch it back on replay, I am going to get into the themes of this Sagittarius energy, what that's going to look like. We're going to look at a little bit of the health side of it too. I'm going to go into some of the numerology for this month. Then I will pull some cards and yeah, we will do a little release ritual too, because guess what? That's what full moons are all about. They are all about releasing what is no longer serving us. It's a great time to have an emotional release. Obviously, as women, if you have your menstrual cycle, that is also the equivalent as well. You know, your monthly time to have an emotional, energetic, physical, and spiritual release too. Obviously, for everyone else, full moon as well is a great time to do that. So if your menstrual cycle doesn't resonate with the full moon, that's fine. You're just going to get 2 times in the month to have an emotional and physical release, which is great because I love these practices because they connect us back to nature, to our natural beings. You know, all the noise of the rest of the world, it kind of brings us back to who we are. Simple practices that are healthy for our physical, mental and emotional well-being. Jalicia, I'm so glad you made it. I wasn't sure if you were gonna make today's live. How is this Sagittarius full moon energy feeling for you? Oh, and thank you. Yeah, I kind of went for my, wait, I don't know if you can see. I kind of went for my like witch sleeve kind of goddess, kind of full moon vibe is what I'm just stepping into, you know? I thought, why not? Like, I'll just do it. So I am just going to start with, and I advise you to do the same, just cleanse yourself, cleanse your space, okay? That's going to help. So to do that, I have some sage here. You may want to use sage, Palo Santo, maybe an incense stick, okay? I also have my beloved singing bowl, which I'm going to use as well. If you don't have a singing bowl or a bell, just use your hands or some dishes, you know, just bang something to make some noise. It's the intention, excuse me, that matters, okay? So I'm just going to cleanse this space. I've already called in, you know, my spirit team to help work with me. And yeah, I'm going to send out the healing energy to all of you that are watching live and anyone else that watches this back as well. So we're just going to start. I'm just gonna take a deep breath in and breathe out. As I breathe out, that is just symbolic of releasing, you know, tension, nerves, anxiety, anything that isn't serving my highest vibrational good. And just, you know, all the energy from the day. I advise you to, you know, do the same. I did do this before the call, but yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna light my sage as well now. Just be a moment. While I'm doing that, let's just catch up on chat. So Naomi is letting us know this morning she had a mini breakdown. Oh my God, I'm so sorry that you're having that. She said releasing, forgiving her mother. Yes, full moon is a great time to do that forgiveness too. I said, I forgive you, Mom, out loud. Started to cry, then stopped myself like I usually do, but then I let my emotions go and kept saying forgiveness until the tears passed. Oh my God, you're amazing to be able to do that, because that takes so much strength, not only to step into that energy and power, but actually as well to allow yourself to feel those emotions and let them pass. So Naomi, like, you should be so proud of yourself. Like, please give yourself a hug and like a pat on the back, you know, just really give yourself self-love for that. Yeah, but do you know what as well, what's really magical about that, Naomi, is you've done that at like the perfect right time that's aligned. So that's going to energetically have a huge shift on you as well. So amazing for doing it like literally dead on the full moon energy. That's incredible. We've also got Gemma joining us. Hey Gemma, how are you doing? I've just catch up with the others on live, but yeah, how's this full moon energy feeling for you? Ooh. Right, I have to focus while I do this, guys. Whoa. Whoa. Right, I'm just gonna cleanse the space. Ooh, gotta watch because the ash is like dropping everywhere. I should really be outside to do this, but I just cleansed all my home before this. Just cleanse the space again. Hold that up to the camera. Yeah, and if you feel drawn to, this would be a good time for you to do the same at home as well. And there's just something kind of calming about setting your intention, cleansing your space, just watching the smoke. Also, I love lighting candles. I cleanse my crystals, my cards, everything. You know, you have to, because everything's energy. So yeah, let's pop that down. Right, let's have a read and chat. Gemma's written, not sure really. I had a cry today, just feeling a lot going on with work and home. I've been doing overtime, which has been great, but also tiring me out. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you just mentioned the work and home theme. So again, like, yeah, home stuff will be a big month for you, Gemma, too, because your life path is resonating with this universal 6 month. So this is a big month for you. It's a big time for you. There'll be a lot going on with regards to like responsibility, family, the home. Yeah, it's an intense time, right? I can just feel that for you. Yeah, maybe just give yourself a little bit more time out where you can, just to, you know, kind of ground, connect back to yourself, because it's almost like view yourself as a battery, you know? If you keep going and then you're running on empty, you're going to create kind of more problems and emotional imbalances for yourself. Remember just to recharge yourself every so often as well. So yeah, I just, this month's been super intense. I just feel like there's so much going on sometimes, that I feel sometimes it's taken me away from, you know, the inner, and everything is so much on the outer world. Again, I think it seems to be a theme. I know 2 of you already mentioned it, but yeah, emotional releases. I think mine actually kind of landed yesterday, and it was around the topic of family, shall we say. And it's funny because it actually kind of aligns with a little bit of like what Naomi was saying, just calling out, you know, some toxicity, things that are on my chest, thoughts, feelings, just calling it out, putting it out there, calling people out for their bad behaviour. That's something I seem to do a lot of. Yeah, basically speaking my truth. And truth is 6 energy, which is actually one of the themes for this full moon and this whole month. And you know what? It hurt, because sometimes when we speak things out loud that we're often holding in and acknowledge like the truth for what it is, it kind of really burnt my soul. I can't lie, guys. And I felt really emotional. So it really got me down. And then I had to be like, try and hold on to some faith and some energy to basically bring myself back out from that. And yeah, that feeling of feeling quite alone and disconnected and just alone in this big old world, you know. I don't know if others relate to that feeling. And yeah, just always that realization of just because people may be your family doesn't mean you're actually close to them or feel much for them, or, you know, not going to tolerate certain things just because people are family. So there's been a lot of those themes coming up as well. I should imagine it's a bit of a synchronicity. We're probably all, you know, feeling similar kind of, I'll say, energy with that. So yeah, in a nutshell, it's been a lot. So yeah, and talking of that, so actually I'll show you the thing after, but I'm going to go through, guys, some of the energy and the themes to expect around this full moon. So it's the full moon in Sagittarius. So with that, obviously, if you are a Sagittarius or you have that as your rising sign and things like that, your sun sign, your moon sign, etc., you will be the ones feeling this more intensely at the moment, okay? So I have to just read off my notes because I like my notes. But yeah, themes, okay, guys? So it's big, bold, restless kind of energy. I don't know, I have definitely felt the restlessness. Like, there just seems to be so many things to do, so many things I want to do. Actually, sitting still is actually quite hard at this full moon. It is also a fire sign, okay? And that's ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is that planet of expansion, luck, wisdom. And this energy in Sagittarius can definitely bring through a feeling of wanting to explore. So if at the moment you're drawn to go off and explore anything, follow that guidance, follow that intuition. It would definitely be great to do that. Again, it's, when I say explore stuff, it can also be like spiritually, you might be drawn to explore certain areas, topics, themes, intellectually, and also physically. I just said it as well. You might not want to sit still. I found that really hard to actually do, is just to sit still and be, okay? Sagittarius also rules the 9th house. So that is connected to travel. You know, philosophy, publishing, your kind of big why, you know, deep questions, deep thoughts, really going deep inwards. So you might find yourself questioning your beliefs, wanting a change of scene or change in your life. But it might also bring through those feelings of just getting clear on what your next step is meant to be. So again, if you're drawn to travel at this time, do it, because that's aligning with that energy. So yeah, other things that are going to come up at this full moon, themes around shedding limiting beliefs, because often the beliefs we create for ourselves up here, you know, this little prison inside here, just such a small parameter of space, but actually so much goes on up there. And this is a great time for shedding some of those beliefs and things that are actually holding us back from reaching like our highest potential. Great time for finding clarity as well. I've had a lot of clarity moments kind of coming through. Perfect time for spiritual growth in however shape or form that looks for you. Also visioning that big kind of picture, the big expansion, which ties into the 6th theme for June, is all about your vision, seeing forward, seeing into the future, seeing things for what they really are, but also being able to hold a vision of maybe something for your future, you know, something that you want to achieve or do in your life. You know, I always say, don't dream small, dream big, yeah? Truth, I said that again, that truth word. Expect a lot of truths or revelations around truth or speaking your truth. And yes, travel and adventure too. And yes, you will be more impacted by this if you are Sagittarius. You have Sagittarius in your sun, moon, or rising sign, then you're going to feel this more. Challenges with this, guys, if you're going to feel particularly restless, as I mentioned, or impulsiveness. So just be mindful of making like impulse decisions at this time. Maybe just give yourself a day, 2-3 days, sit with it, and then reevaluate, okay? Doing things off impulse may backfire a little bit. Sagittarius energy as well, health-wise, guys. Sagittarius rules the thighs, the sciatic nerves, extended vertebrae, your sacrum, and your coccyx. So don't put extra strain or pressure on those areas when the moon is in Sagittarius, because it will have more of a negative impact. So, for instance, if you've never really done hiking or your fitness levels aren't great, don't go off when the moon is in Sagittarius and try and do like a 2-hour hike, because you're going to cause more damage to your thighs. and those other areas, like you'll just get more pain. Unless you're someone that's, built up your stamina and experience with that, just take it easy. But any healing you might do for those particular areas will have a much more beneficial effect at this time. And obviously no surgeries on a full moon if you can avoid it, unless it's life or death, but particularly not on those areas, okay? Right, then we're going to get into this little ritual that I'm going to do, but I want to catch up on chat, see what people are saying. Right, Gemma sending love. Oh, thank you so much, Gemma. Right, Jalicia, she's having her menstrual cycle with this full moon. Oh my God. Ooh, someone's aligned with that red moon cycle. That's quite powerful as well when you know your period just started with the full moon, because double intense release, I'm gonna say. She has also written, she created a vet dream board recently. Amazing, keep that visioning up. She's trying to craft a good grades spell on the full moon, so either today or tomorrow. Perfect. She's also written Coloured Girl's Wounds, which is her cat she's referring to, is not oozing. So thanks to her healing with the waxing moon instead of the new moon. So again, you're implementing your witch, your magic, your powers, and you're using that to heal your animals. You're using that with your spells, your energy. So you're really stepping into your power, and you're going to start feeling those shifts, Jalicia, and those changes, because your energy is amplifying, okay? And you're using it in a really beneficial and healing capacity. And I always say, like, when people do things that are for their highest good, the highest good of others, the universe will just match that energy and amplify it, okay? And more things will start aligning in your lives. Like, it's a perfect time. Let me just grab my water, because as you guys know, I love to talk. I need to take a breather. Let me get some water. So, if you do like a full moon ritual, when I say that word, I know it is a bit like, I'm always a bit concerned with words and connotations, because I know they mean different things to different people. But if you do anything at a full moon, let me know in the comments here, because it'll be interesting to know, because I've found over the years, when I connected to my own energy, that I started doing like these simple practices, you feel way more empowered, and you start noticing like a lot of positive shifts and changes in your life and your energy. And I also noted that actually connecting to our own power, because whether it's an intention or ritual is just like doing something like added energy, and whether people want to call it a spell, a ritual, whatever, a practice, whatever resonates with you, but it's the same kind of thing, but it's connecting to your power through your own magic. We all hold our own magic, and it's empowering at the end of the day. And that's what it's about, is empowering ourselves, not looking for external sources of empowerment, but actually these sources come from within us, which is the most powerful. We don't need to look to anything or anyone else. Like, this is within us, and I'm just here to inspire that, I guess, and help motivate you with that. So it's also going to give us hope, because when we go through difficult times and we can get really down in a rut, in a low vibrational place, which is normal, but sometimes it's hard to get yourself out of that. And I actually find by doing little things like this, and that's why I like people to come on and join the live, because if you're having a rubbish day at home, you sit and watch me for a bit, like join in on the chat. This is also, I would call a bit of an energy healing session for everyone on here or watching it back, because they're the energy and intentions that I set. So you're guaranteed to feel a bit better than you did before you came on. And by writing, I always advise pen and paper, because when you write, that's directly your energy, pen to paper. It's a bit more magical. And it's channeling your energy in a constructive way. And that gives us, purpose, focus, inspiration. And it helps with feeling grounded. It helps as a way to balance your energies and channel them into something constructive rather than destructive. And you will feel more connected, not only connected to yourself, connected to the earth, to the energy above. You will feel more basically empowered and magical by stepping into your power, is what I'm trying to tell you. So as I say, before you do anything, it's just good to cleanse your space, you know, whether that be with noise, sound, saging, smoking, etc. Even just intention, you know, just like this sweeping away, opening windows, things like that. Cleanse yourself, cleanse your space is a good way to start. And then you can visualize your protection around you, whether that's like with a light of protection, shields of protection, mirrors of protection. Just set your space for yourself, okay? Before I go to the next point, let's catch up on chats. Right, Jalissa has also written, she also recently realised that her mother unknowingly speaks curses over her life daily. That's not good. You want to do, I would say, just some like extra protection around that, Jalissa, because yeah, sometimes people fear, like, don't they, like external sources, all these other things that could be more harmful, but actually it could be the people that you're like closest to, or you know, in closest living quarters too, that could be the most dangerous to you. So please, Jalissa, do some more protection on yourself. Naomi, she also usually leaves her water in the moonlight overnight after a quick little blessing, then drinks it in the morning, although she's not always consistent. That's an incredible one to do, your moon water, because not only are you charging it with the energy from the moon, but you're also charging it with your own intentions. That could be super healing and powerful. Definitely do that tonight if you can. Let's see. Just put, she tells me things like, don't go back to school, you won't get a job, don't try to make it big. And then she says this while laying on her pillow. Some people just will never want to see you succeed, will they? Because it triggers something within them, which is a horrible place to come from. But yeah, that is not the kind of energy that you want to be around. Jalissa's also wrote, that's why for a few years now, she's been feeling like she's cursed and unlucky. Now she'll have to banish her energy, cleanse and protect herself daily. Yes, that's going to be something you absolutely have to do, because if you're around that energy all the time, of course that's going to affect your own energy. You know, you're not made of steel. There's only so much you can do. Like, you're a being, you're going to be sensitive to that. It's horrible. So I really do hope that you can find a way definitely to protect yourself from that. Naomi's also put, yeah, Jalissa, yikes, I literally just found out talking shit or down about people is actually black magic. Yeah, so guys, it's funny you're mentioning this stuff, because that also ties into the themes and energy for this month in June, because it's about psychic abilities and things. And I always say to people, sometimes, like, I used to be one years ago, I'd be so like afraid of anything like, I'm gonna like say magical or psychic, anything like that. And actually it doesn't, you know, have to be like someone intentionally doing magic on you, but actually, yeah, little things like that every day. Even if you sit gossiping about people, even if you talk bad about people, you know, like say you might do it with friends or family, or, you know, so-and-so's this or that, and actually that is a form, whether people know it or not, is actually like, yeah, it's psychically attacking people, because you're using all this energy and intention with your psyche, you know, in your mind, to talk about someone, to be negative about them, to wish them ill will, you know, even with your thoughts. And a lot of people probably don't always realize the implication of them doing that, but actually by doing that, it's not good. Do you know what I mean? So it can just cause so much pain to like the person potentially you're talking about, because energetically, they, depending on how conscious they are or psychic they are themselves, they may not realize that like those people are doing it, but then they might start feeling ill in themselves. They might start getting headaches, migraines, like bad luck, bad things happening. That's why it is so, and I always like try and teach this and talk about this, it's why it's so super important that you learn to protect yourself, you learn to ground yourself, like you learn to be conscious about these things, because it's not like sometimes the spirit world and things you need to be so afraid of. It's actually the people that you could be in more contact with daily, or, you know, those in your family and things that could do you more harm than anyone else. And just like there's physical harm, there is spiritual harm, there's mental harm, you know, there's emotional harm, there's physical harm, which all kind of ties into those things. Do you know what I mean? So it's very interesting, guys. So I would encourage you all, if you're doing like a full moon release list, write down those things you want to release. If it's people, if it's, you know, toxic situations, maybe thoughts you're having, anything like that. I always start my list, which I'll just show you guys. I always start it like this. So I put the date, and then I put full moon release list. I sign it, because if you sign it, I feel like, again, you're imprinting your energy to commit to that. You know, you've signed it, you've dated it. It's a big step. I always put, you know, for my highest good, from the highest good, because of course, again, you want things to be for your highest good. You don't want to cause harm to yourself or to anyone else. And, you know, some things I'll put down, like I release worry, I release fear, I release control, I release tension, pain, negative thoughts, behaviors, judgments, unkind thoughts. You know, there's some ideas, and maybe, like, for instance, in Jalicia's case, she might want to, you know, put down about releasing, you know, that negative energy from her mother, releasing, I would actually be more specific as well, as negative energy cords and attachments to toxic and harmful people. And, you know, visualize like actually cutting those cords away, Jalicia, because, and looking at ways you can then move forward and protect yourself. And then don't be surprised as well, guys, like if you are setting these intentions and things you want to release, don't be surprised then if suddenly, like, you know, these people might just get out of your life, or suddenly, you know, feel more distant from them. There could be a lot of ways it shows up. I often say to people as well, so if you've put an intention down, like let's say about ending a toxic relationship, or where did I put this? I wrote a note. I did write a note. I wrote so many notes. Yeah, but symbolically as well. So if you want to rid something or someone, or releasing that, yeah, so start by what you can. So maybe like delete their number. You know, even if it's family, look, they don't need to be in your energy. A phone is an extension of your energy field. If it's a partner, an ex-partner, delete. If you don't want them in your energy field, delete it. Delete message threads, delete pictures. You see what I mean? Things like that. Don't have anything of that person's belonging in your home or your room or your personal space. Gifts, things like that from people. Anything that could be connected to that person. I know that sounds weird, but trust me, because like, let's say, like in Jalissa, this is an example. Let's say your mother, but they're really toxic and evil towards you, has gifted you something, like energetically, then that is going to have some of their energy. So unless you really cleanse that off and do a lot of energy work on that item, it might be better to actually get rid of that item. You know, if you're really wanting to like rid someone's energy or some energy from your life, the same way in your home, if you're having, say if you want to, like I set an intention about decluttering, so, and getting rid of stuff I no longer need, which I have been starting to do, but then I have to like symbolically, so like tomorrow I'll take out the rubbish, I'll start removing more things I don't need, or giving things to charity or whatever. You have to kind of also start with some actions too, and that'll help. Let's have a look what else you could do. Yeah, just do something differently, okay? So again, I like put on there about removing, like, how did I word it? Let's find this. Right, so releasing like an itch I was having, or excess body weight, you know, things like that. So then I have to be prepared to, do I really want to, you know, I have to make some kind of change or movement too. And again, with releasing pain and traumas, like you have to also feel into them. So another great thing to do on a full moon, or when you feel called, is just sit and journal. Sit and journal your feelings, your thoughts, anything that comes up, because that can allow you to connect more with yourself. Like I mentioned at the beginning, when I started speaking out loud some of these things I was thinking and holding on to, the realization of it did make me emotional. Then I was like, whoa. Like, you know, and it hit me, but sometimes you have to allow that out. Otherwise, especially at the full moon, we get more tense, we get more aggravated, you know, emotions and things come up. So we have to find a healthy way to let it out. So with your list, if you feel drawn to do that too, then what you want to do, once you've written it all down, you can sage over it, like cleanse over it too, because that's going to be symbolic of releasing and removing that. You might also want to use your bells, whatever. Just use your hand and, you know, visualize even just throwing it up to the earth or to the sky to be neutralized and dispersed off and removed. And once you start doing these things, you're gonna feel a little bit of like a shift in your energy, because I did it before the call, and I honestly, guys, did feel a shift in my energy come through, and I was like, oh, like I'm starting to feel more, a bit lighter, a bit more. I was like, oh, I want to just get up and dance. Like I was just shifting the energy. Dancing is actually a really good way to do that too. So anyway, with your list, you can then tear it up, bin it, burn it, bury it, whatever you feel drawn to do. But the main thing is, you know, you want to release that, okay? And then you want to ground yourself afterwards. So whether you put your feet on the earth, you go by a tree, if you're inside, just visualize roots from your feet sinking into the earth. And then always do this. Focus on your breath, deep breaths in. And as you breathe out, you just want to visualize all those things. And the breaths out will again be symbolic of releasing a lot of what you've asked to release. And then just let the universe work its magic. And by these simple acts and rituals, it's enhancing your power, your energy, and you will start to feel more connected and better for it, okay? So, right, Jalicia has written, black magic is used as a racist term. Baneful magic is better term to be used. Full stop. However, you are right. Our words really are powerful, and we can speak jinxes and curses over someone's life. She's also written, what sucks even more is that all her negative word has spoken over my life has manifested. I am working towards breaking these curses, cleansing myself, protecting myself, and blessing myself. Good. But I will also say this, when it's your mother, okay, especially the mother figure, whatever relationship we have with our mothers, why it's actually a really hard chord to disconnect from is because mother, womb, sacral chakra, cord, literal umbilical cord we had when we're born, they're actually the mother energetic cord to child is one of the hardest, especially if it's negative, to really kind of disconnect from because of that. Do you see what I mean? Because of that connection. Sometimes it can manifest in different ways, like she said there. Yeah, it's having like a really negative effect on her and her life. But it's different, and you need, what I will say from experience and knowledge of that, you've got to just tread lightly and carefully and go at the pace you feel appropriate and safe for you. Because, like, you know, it's all very well me saying, you know, just completely cut that cord, but if you're not ready potentially energetically or emotionally, that can sometimes cause a little bit more harm and distress in the process. So just take it at your pace, do what you can, but it is a real hard one with the mother bond, you know, not even the bond, but you know what I mean, is that energy connection, because it's right at the sacral chakra, Jalicia. And with your life path also being that 2 energy, which again is connecting with your sacral chakra there, that is a theme throughout your life that you're going to be working on. You see what I mean? It's something that you've got to master in this life, particular focus on your sacral chakra area, which also ties into, yeah, the umbilical cord and to the mother and relationships and partnerships in that sense. So it is a bit more of a challenge for you, I'm going to say. And yeah, just with your point too, again, Jalicia, you mentioned like the terms around the magic is like, it is a hard one, because in a lot of like spirituality texts, just like wording and culture, people do refer to like white magic, black magic, the dark side, the light side. And yeah, there may be connotations behind some of that, and it is quite hard. But that's why sometimes, like, even with when I'm talking about like energy and stuff, I try and say, especially in numerology, if I'm referring to it, is I say like there's a higher vibration that you could be in or a lower vibration, and then people can, you know, flip in between. But yes, just like people can do good in the world, people can do bad. Good people, bad people, yeah? But then it's also the same with spiritual. You're going to get people that read or people that heal that obviously work for your highest good. Then you're going to get people that, those traits that people still have, manipulative, con artists, do negative things or put energy on you, so to speak, or curses, hexes, etc. People that work in this field and do this type of thing can still do that too. Just like, average people that might work in an office or a school. So it doesn't mean that, again, people doing this kind of thing, shall we say, or interested in the spiritual aspects of life, yes, they could still be dangerous and harmful people too, because it all depends on someone's intentions. But I will also say this, it's someone's level of consciousness as well. So if someone is like always pushing it has to be this way, or this is the right way, that's the wrong way, like that's coming from a very like narrow-minded perspective. So like me, I have my beliefs, I have my thoughts, I have my feelings, but guess what? Everyone's going to have their own, and no one else has to agree or have the same as me, because we're all meant to have different experiences here on earth. That's why you'll see it in a lot in like religion and things too. They push a one way kind of, it has to be this, and it's controlling people often a lot of the time by fear. Fear is the biggest controller of people. But actually, like, we all have our own unique lens in life. We're all going to see through our own unique lens, and that's based on our personal experiences, our beliefs, our vision, our thoughts. We could all look at the same one screen right now, and everyone could see something different. Everyone could interpret something different. Just like with words, someone can think it means one thing, someone else may think it means another. Like, it all depends on your perception of things. But what really matters is intention, okay? And like energy behind it. So that's really important to tune into. Trusting your gut. Do you trust that person's energy? Do you trust how they are? Because I've been in groups and settings before as well, where I haven't agreed with per se like the teacher or the person's way of teaching, or I felt they taught things that I wouldn't agree are for people's highest vibrational good. And it's like, hold on, but that person could be like 30, 40 years older than me, and I'm not agreeing. And then it's like, but actually, like we say, it comes down to consciousness, and is that person a highly evolved soul? Because if they're teaching people to do, like jinxes or hexes or negative things towards someone, like that is not the right way to operate. You need to come from a place of actually, like, if someone is probleming you, asking for divine help and guidance, but also sending in healing to a situation, because ultimately hurt people are going to hurt people, So it's just about operating in a spiritually mature, I'm going to call it, that's the way, spiritually mature way. And also remembering, like, whatever you put out in life, you can easily get back. Certain people are more prone to that. So just, be mindful of anything you do, and doing things like with the right intentions, guys. That's what I can kind of advise. I mean, I know I do go off and I talk a lot, but hopefully it resonates with someone. It makes sense, I hope so. Then I'm just going to touch on, I don't know if anyone watched my latest video I did. I noticed my algorithm on YouTube is not great, because sometimes I don't post regularly, and I think sometimes some of the things I post about either get like shadow banned, or maybe they're just not that popular, or I don't know, because I'm not really good on technology to like get my more people reaching it so that more people can view it. But if you haven't watched my latest June video, please do, because I always put like a lot of detail and a lot of thought and a lot of time and energy into things. I am a bit intense. Anything I'm interested in, I really go to the full extremes for it. So because there's so much valuable as well help and information within that, I want to be able to help as many people as I can. So a bit of numerology now, guys, before I do some little card pulls. But so June, energy-wise, for this month, I know we're already a week or so in, but June's numerology is a 6-month, okay? So some of the key themes and energies with that will be coming up in your life, again, more so and more intensely if you have that 6 energy like in your life path as one of your core numbers, maybe a personal year, maybe your name energy. So just, if you want more help and guidance with that, it's probably better. You can ask me any questions, by the way, in chat about anything, guys, on topics. But or you can email me. So family, home, responsibilities, love, marriage, you know, your third eye and your sixth sense, and they're in this area. So again, if you have any problem areas coming up here this month, you know, anything relating to sinuses, eyes, nose, ears, like the head, the brain, the mind, your mental health, etc., headaches, things like that, that is going to indicate an imbalance for you, an imbalance in that area. Maybe you're switched off, you know, maybe you're just not open. You don't want a third eye that's like completely open, because that's not going to be balanced. You know, everything's got to be balanced. That's why I also don't agree with a lot of videos online, or when they're like teaching people, hey, Russian, open your third eye. Like, do you not know how dangerous that is? Be really careful. That's why I never advocate for drugs or alcohol, because they weaken your energy field. They will interrupt with your third eye. They will allow in low vibrational entities and negativity. I've experienced that in my life. Trust me. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So you got to be really mindful. But yeah, guys, if you feel pain or anything in those areas come up, work on balancing that third eye, okay? You want to see things for what they are. You want to see clearly. You want to see through illusion and the veil. You want to see the truth in situations. And embrace being imperfect, because sixth energy is totally about perfectionism. We can be so perfectionist that then we block ourselves from doing anything. So just don't, you know, sometimes I have to embrace imperfect, just like with my YouTube videos. Sometimes I get so annoyed that I can't edit videos, or I can't make them look great like everyone else is on YouTube, or I don't know, my screen doesn't look how I want it to, and then I can actually block myself from doing a lot, because these perfectionist things, actually maybe other people might not even notice that much. It doesn't stop the quality, or it doesn't stop what I'm doing, but we can then kind of really beat on ourselves hard about it, okay? If you're also feeling drawn to your beauty this month, makeovers, you know, looking at your your health, your beauty regimes, your self-care practices, your self-love, perfect month to do it, okay? Those themes will come up. I also said about creating like your own self-care box, your cupboard, your area. So, you know, you can have a go-to section in your home with all self-care stuff, you know, whether that be medicines, herbs, books, journals, pens, paper, anything that's going to help you feel better, smells, anything, blankets, a teddy bear, anything, you know? It's also about being of service. So where can you help others? Where can you help in the world? It's also about healing, great time for healing, truth and justice as well. So speaking that truth, finding the truth, because trust me, most people do not tell you the truth about stuff, okay? That's just life. The world doesn't tell you the truth. Like, the whole world is a lie, but can people see through it? I don't know, you know? Oh, and watch out for your dreams too, guys, because dreams this month, you might get a lot of prophecies come through, you know, like visions, vivid, lucid dreams. You might even be getting like visits from your spirits, your loved ones. Yeah, so pay attention and really write your notes on them, okay? Let me just read. There's a message. Naomi, okay, she's written, the book you recommended that I ordered came in yesterday. Oh my god. Although she hasn't opened it yet, she's excited. Okay, was that the Closer to Love book? I think it was, wasn't it? I remember. And do you know what's crazy, Naomi? You mentioned that today. Then I had a little vision about that book today, and I was like, I'm going to make it my mission this month to read back over that and do some journaling, because on that matter, like, it also is connected to like our heart, matters of the heart and love. And I was like, yeah, that's really an area I feel like I'm gonna have to brave myself to and do a little bit of healing on. Oh, she's put her left temple has been in pain periodically the last week or so. Okay, Naomi, when you get the pain, I want you to, like, going forward, pay attention to what's on your mind at that time, or what you were doing, or what thoughts were coming in, and just write those down. And then I want you to see if that's connected to something a little bit there, because you might also find it might just be as well a bit of an expansion, like your sixth sense is kind of like awakening a little bit, almost maybe like a bit of growing pains. So it might just be strengthening as well, but like making you aware of it to tune into it a little bit more. So see how that goes, see how that feels. And yeah, guys, I think we all kind of mentioned a bit. I know Gemma did, I know I did, I know Naomi did, but yeah, relationships and families and loved ones this month, like they're going to be big themes playing out. So already I can 100% see that. So yeah, don't be surprised if issues or things come up with family or relationships, because that's what the sixth energy is about. Things in your community, are you feeling isolated, or are you feeling, you know, that community kind of energy? Because the sixth embodiment, like if we look at it, yes, it may all be on the highest vibrational side, be all about love and family, relationships, but actually on the flip side, the challenge side, you know, like me, I spend most of my life alone, because actually that's one of my biggest challenges in life is mastering that element, because those things don't come easy, and they're particularly like where a lot of challenges have been for me. So yeah, it can be quite isolating and feel quite alone, you know. So I would say look at like love versus hate, you know, harmony, balance versus hatred, balance versus addiction, because again, six can be really balanced and, you know, in flow, or they could have some really difficult addictive tendencies to deal with too. Lust versus love, you know, healthy relationships versus toxic ones. And that book that we spoke about, Naomi, by an amazing author, Vex King, he's also a master 33-6 life path. So yeah, he would have had these themes and trials and tribulations his life to deal with. So I always think as well, it's like great to kind of learn from people that have walked similar paths or similar challenges, should we say. But yeah, really discerning like what is a healthy relationship versus what are toxic relationships, because that's that sixth energy too. Finding good, healthy, balanced relationships. So I do really recommend that book. Yes. And also coming up this month, we have on the 21st, we have the summer solstice coming up, guys. And that's going to be a huge energy portal, huge shifts, huge changes. Great time, I would say, to like activate, charge, be in nature, set your intentions, do some like magic and spells, because that's going to be amazing. And then on the 25th, I think, around about then, is the new moon energy too. So there's just a lot going on this month. I feel so much this month, basically. But yeah, if you haven't already, guys, watch the video, give it a like, give it a comment. Same with this video afterwards, please, when it uploads, please drop a comment on the video and like it, share it, whatever, just so it can help reach more people, because my stuff isn't always, but then I always trust the people that it does reach are those that it's meant to, you know. So on that note, oh god, I'm rattling the thing around. Yeah, so on that note, guys, would anyone like a little card pull, or do you have a question? Let's see that. Does anyone have a question they would like me to answer? I'll tune in, I can pull a card for you. All I ask in exchange, energy exchange, is that you like this video. When it uploads, you comment. If you feel drawn, you can leave a donation for the channel. Yeah, so guys, let me know. I love to help. So let's see what we can do for you. The decks I'm using today, got Numerology deck. Then Gemma, I can see you pop up, but you need to, because you didn't do it on my other videos. Please, you need to leave a comment after it goes up, because otherwise the energy exchange isn't good. Because that's one thing I really want people to do. So this is the deck, Numerology. Then we have Lemurian Star Chart Oracle deck. So I wasn't gonna use this deck, I will say. I wasn't gonna today, but then it was like the first one I pulled towards, and I was like, no, this deck can be a bit deep sometimes. I was like, it's just for the huge, it's just little. And then I thought, no, Laura, like you went to pull this one first. Trust your higher self. So yes, pull it. So I did pull them ones out, and they are a beautiful deck. I have met the artist before, the author, Leanne. Her artwork is incredible. I got these ones gifted, actually. Oh, and she did that beautiful artwork behind me. So, yeah. So I will also use these and just have a little feel in, see what we feel for you guys, see how I can help you all. do. Right. Okay, Gemma said she will. Perfect, Gemma. Please do. Naomi, there are Naomi wrote, there's so many questions right now, so maybe if you could see, I'm gonna sneeze, Naomi, so that's showing me something's annoying you. Sorry, guys. Right, she said there's so many questions, but if you could see what she needs to hear most, she would be greatly appreciated. Okay, we will do that. Right, Naomi, let me just start with yours because I feel like I'm just in your energy. Anyway, Gemma, I'm gonna come back to you. Right. Right. Let me just write down for a moment, Naomi. Naomi. Right. Let's have a look. Let's ask for your highest good what's going to come through. 1, 2. Right, Naomi's highest good. What does she most need to hear? Okay. Ooh. Right. Okay, this one's interesting, Naomi. So the first thing that came out is... I'm getting a bit warm as well, guys. Right. First thing that came out for you, Naomi... Naomi, I'm getting tongue-tied, right? This happens when my energy just goes a bit... Woo. Right. Is manifestation. You got the 8 card, which is actually like abundance. So universe really wants you to focus on your manifestation, even though that word I don't always like using because I find it a bit cringe, but we know what it means, guys. So you've really got to work and focus on that and really bringing into your life like what it is you want. Work on releasing blocks that are blocking you from getting that. There's a quote and it goes something along the lines of like, the universe is not on a budget. Okay, so don't hold back in what you're asking for. Like if what you're asking for is genuinely aligned for you and for your highest good, like there is no reason you shouldn't receive that. Some things will come through quicker, some things might take a little while, but please, this is your focus right now. Okay, so as it builds up to the summer solstice and the new moon, you really need to work on setting those intentions. Okay. Okay. Naomi, if you could also just tell me your date of birth as well, please. Because I just want to check your personal year for a moment as well. While I'm just getting you another card deck. Let's get you one from this card deck. Right. Let's have a look. Another message for her. Ooh! 2 just literally jumped out of that deck. So... wow. Oh my god, Naomi, this is crazy. Look, there were 80 something cards in here. So when I say the messages are on point, guys, you really need to like pay attention. This card just came out. Look at that, forgiveness. And what did you speak about at the beginning of the call? Like forgiveness. So you can see a woman above here. I'm just straight away feeling like you have a grandmother energy in spirit. I'm probably going to say maybe on your father's side or the male side in the family. Anyway, I feel like there is a spirit team above and like they're watching over. And I feel like this time that you're going through, this forgiveness is like a really painful, difficult time here. Look, the woman is literally stripped bare. She's in pain, but she's connected to the earth. And I feel the message with this coming through for you is you do have divine love and support coming from above. Like they recognize what you're doing. They are opening themselves to bring you more love and peace and healing into your life, but they do also operate on divine free will. So, you know, just put it out there if you want to welcome them in for your highest good and let that healing take place. You've also got the butterflies here. There's a lot of butterflies, especially see here on your back and your heart. So for me, a butterfly is like transformation, and I feel like a lot of deep healing, but also rebirth. I feel like there's going to be a new version of you that's going to get birthed at this time, okay? Just like a butterfly has to go through that cocoon phase, that hard phase, and then suddenly they get to bloom and be beautiful. I feel like that's tying in for you. That this painful, difficult time, like it's gonna pass, and it's almost like a death and a rebirth for yourself at the same time, so you can then transform into something else. So the forgiveness has been recognized and noted, okay? Then the second card that came out, which is actually kind of connecting to this manifestation one from the other deck, here is like this, a 7 card here, which is called abundance. I do love the artwork on these. Just don't know if it shows up all the colours so well on the screen. But yeah, abundance. So don't live in that mindset, or, you know, like really tight budgeting, feeling like there's not enough to go around. I want to say, like, pay it forward, pay something forward, you know, even if you just put a few coins in a jar, create a wealth corner in your home, like add to that abundance. It's going to bring more of it into you. And also that abundant mindset of like, guess what, like you have your energy is abundant, your love is abundant, you know, things that don't always have to be like a actual monetary vibration, but I feel like you need to have a lot more abundance, and there's just so much good coming for you. Okay, that's what I feel with this card and this message. Just one moment while I just calculate something as well. How old are you at the moment, Naomi? Because you have got a big point coming up. What is... So, 9, 10, 15. Okay, so 2 things to note. Yes, okay. Right, so you're... Okay, that's what I was thinking. Right, so you're in a personal year currently. I calculate personal years from birthday to birthday because I find that to be more accurate. Like, your birthday was given to you for a reason. So you're in a personal year of 5. That energy basically translates to change. So there will be a lot of change for you this year. There probably has been since your birthday. Things can feel a little uneasy and unsettled in a 5 personal year, okay? You might have felt an urge to travel more, to explore more, to do more. But yeah, themes around change, like things will just be a bit unsettled potentially. But from your birthday, because you're September, aren't you? September the 15th. So from your birthday, energetically, you're going to shift into a 6 personal year, which is more about healing the third eye, things with your family, your loved ones, you know, relationships, matters of the home, but also probably a bit more of a spiritual journey for you too, I'm gonna say. You know, a lot more going on here. You were also born on the 15th. So again, like, family is so important to you. You know, helping others. People probably come to you and tell you a lot of their problems as well. You know, that 15 energy is very motherly, I'm gonna say. I know you said you had 2 children, but just because someone's a mother, it doesn't make them motherly and nurturing. But if you have some of that 6 energy, you definitely will, okay? That's what I get from you. You know, your kids, your life, that is your kind of focus. You devote yourself to that, to a sense. But big things are going to come up for you, Naomi. 40 is a big point for you, okay? That's all I can say, because your life path is a 4. But before I get to the 4, I get the number 40. So 40 is going to be a very big time in your life. You are approaching that. So the energy can start coming in a year or 2 either side. So often when a big turning point is coming up for someone, changes and shifts can start coming, okay? So it's a lot that's going to happen for you and change for you, but it will align you more with your path. So if you're worried now in your life potentially that things aren't really falling into place, or you might feel like your life's not in order or not maybe where you want it to be or how you should be, don't worry, because after that turning point, things will just be, you'll be more aligned on your life path, shall we say. That's what I'm going to say for you right now. This was just meant to be a mini reading, Naomi, but like, you know, I could talk to you all day about these things. Probably need a one-on-one to talk about things in more detail. But yeah, I hope that kind of helps and is resonating with you. So if you have questions, let me know. But yeah, so to recap, you got the abundance card. No, you did get an abundance card, but it's not that one. Abundance card, your manifestation, check. And your forgiveness card. So again, because you did say at the beginning there was a lot going on, but I feel like these things that have just come up for you at the moment are what's kind of most Spirit most wants you to know at this time. Okay. Right, if anyone else on the call would like a little mini reading, let me know in comments, please. I am going to come to then Gemma. Gemma did say, Gemma, if you're still on the call, let me know, please. And we can come to you, Gemma. I'm just going to wait for chat to load. Okay, Gemma's come through. Okay, Gemma, do you have a question? Or you just want me to pull a card for you? Let's have a look for Gemma. Just wait and see what she says. And yeah, again, anyone else, if you are on the call and would like a mini reading, let me know in chat. General, okey-doke. Okay. Right, for Gemma's highest vibrational good, let's have a look. Just shuffling for you, Gemma. But I did write down something as well. Ooh. Right. So before I show you the cards, I did randomly wrote down, I was seeing like the getting the alphabet, and then I was like, phonics, speech. Not sure if someone's learning something to do with their speech or their learning, but that was coming through. So not sure if that may resonate in some way. First card that comes out here is Dolphin Baby. Look at this little cute image. That is giving a lot of childlike energy, I would say. Water and emotions. I'm gonna say with this, I'm going down. I feel like this is inner child energy. There's some kind of healing or inner child work that's coming up that's connected around emotions. And I feel like you might need to embody a little bit more like fun and free spirited energy at the moment, and allow yourself, like, sometimes remember operating like emotionally. Sometimes emotional, I'm gonna say because it's water and like eruptions, can come from like a wounded or an inner child space that maybe something needs healing. So pay attention to anything that maybe like triggers you, hurts you, or upsets you. Tune into that and look at maybe like the core wound or place that's coming from, and then allow yourself to kind of feel in and let those emotions out. Water would also be super good and healing for you too. Because the water helps, your energy field, helps cleansing your energy, feeling more balanced. So that could be ideal for you to spend a little bit more time in water as well. But yeah, I would always say this as well for people, like when you do any healing work or on particular areas, not only does that help you, but it also then is like, heal stuff within families as well. But yeah, have a bit more fun with it too. Don't get into the energy of being too serious about things. Some of that inner child kind of energy, I would say as well. It's a two thing with inner child stuff. It can be things where we need to heal more, but also like just embodying a bit more fun, kind of free energy. Okay. Gemma's put, oh wow, oh geez, sorry. That card makes me emotional looking at it. Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? But I feel like with those colours and things, because the child has like a cute like little face, but then also in the eyes I feel like there is a sadness. So even that, like the mask you might have to the world versus what's actually going on, you know what I mean? Like the eyes, I will say, the windows to someone's soul. You can feel into the pain and the energy that may actually, they hide behind everything is in the eyes. Second card that came out for you is number 4. This is called the Well of Dreams. I'll hold it up here. Really interesting artwork. There's a lot going on. Well of Dreams. So double-ended interpretation I'm going to give you. Here. Pay attention to your dreams, okay? Literally in the dream realm, but also in the physical realm. Because if you have like dreams and things, but maybe you suppress them or don't live them out, like you're doing your soul an injustice, because there are dreams here that can literally manifest and are there like a little egg in the womb waiting. I'm gonna say, it sounds strange, but just waiting to be fertilized so it can grow and blossom. You know, I really feel like you need to nurture your dreams a little bit more. Stop being a small, wait, what's that saying? Like you're like a fish in a small pond or something. You know, like don't be the small thing in a, like a small, just put yourself out into the big wide world. Like what are you holding back? Why are you trying to make yourself small? I feel like that's going to tie in with your dreams. And yeah, don't fear being seen, but you need to like build on those dreams literally to help them come into fruition, but also pay attention to any dreams, especially this month, that you might get in your dream realm, like as in sleep, because there's going to be some deep messages in there for you, okay? She has written, she finds it really hard not to be serious. Lol. I find it hard to play. So yeah, you like agreeing that you're maybe more of a serious than like a playful kind of energy. Yeah, because I think that would help you to like have more of that, a bit of childlike kind of fun energy. It will definitely help. Let's just see from the numerology deck. Let's have a quick look. Okay, this one came out too. It was upside down, but it's the personal growth card. 7 energy, so inwards time, but I feel because it's down, that might have just been something, a little struggle area at the moment, potentially with regards to personal growth. Because it's an energy that will take you more inwards, you know, away from the physical world, more to your inner world. But anything that could potentially help with your personal growth at the moment, you know, whether it's a book, whether it's a video, whether it's a blog you read, you know, whether it's something healing wise you do, that's all going to be super, super beneficial to you as well. So yeah, a time of personal growth is pending if it's not already happening for you as well, Gemma. So hope those messages resonate. I hope they make sense for you. Guys, this is your time live on air. Okay, you know me, I always try to have a little laugh and joke with things. Yeah, this is your time to ask. If not, I will probably pull one for the rest of this month. Let's have a look. Okay, while I'm waiting, so yeah, if anyone does, just drop in comments if you would like your reading. While I'm waiting, I'm going to pull card anyway for the month, the rest of June. What messages for the collective at this particular time, for everybody's highest good? What messages can we have for June? What do we need to be aware of? What do we need to know? What can help us? Let's have a look. Ooh, one straight away jumped. Oh, wow. Look at this card. Physical activity, okay? So I kind of touched on that earlier when I mentioned about dancing, shifting energy, moving, but because there's such strong energies coming in, it's actually really important to have enough physical energy in our lives, because what can happen is, especially with people that are more sensitive, more highly strung, you know, even with the 6 energy, if you guys have that or experiencing that, or like master number energy, you're going to be more kind of sensitive and supercharged. And let's face it, if you don't have an outlet to charge some of that energy, take it from me, what happens is it remanifests back into you, and it will manifest out as like nervous tension, extreme anxiety, like fatigue. Sometimes I'll break out in itching, crazy stuff on my skin, super imbalanced, you know, totally in your head about things, can get really, your moods can really fling and fluctuate, extreme high, extreme low, super depressed or super like, you know, just on one about something. Yeah, mental imbalances, I'm going to say. It can really have that kind of effect. So if you partake in some type of physical activity, that's going to really help ground you this month and really connect you and balance. It's about balancing out those energies. So that will be my advice with that. Even if, like, when I say physical activity, that might scare some people, or maybe you've got a medical condition or you can't actually move or be that active, but there are things you can do. Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, even if it's just stretching, you know, finding ways like this to balance and move your energy, even if it's just moving your hips to some music in the house, things like that will majorly help. Okay, so I highly recommend that. Because I know if I don't do something, sometimes it's like all this energy just burns up inside you, and if you haven't got an outlet for it, like, you can literally self-destruct. Okay, the second message coming out is about this surrendering. So again, we can't always control everything that's happening in the world or around us, but sometimes we have to just believe like things are going to work out for you in whatever way is right, and surrender, you know, surrender that control, surrender the need to try and manipulate things to how we might want them or want them to be or for others to see. Yeah, really got to touch into that surrender energy. Let's get my other deck. Let's have a look. By the way, oh, it's not even dark outside yet. I was going to say, can anyone or has anyone actually seen the full moon over the last couple of days or today? Because I haven't, and I'm kind of gutted. Like, I love embracing a full moon. I just haven't got to see one yet. All right, message for the collective. What have we got? Ooh, oh my God, I'm loving this. Wow. The artwork is just like incredible. Look at this. Right, this is called number 6 card, no coincidence, because we're talking about that 6 energy in a 6 month. This is called Syrian Emissaries. Okay, I may not have even said it right. To me, this is bringing through, like, if people believe in it, you know, like kind of like galactic energy, starseed energy, is bringing through a magical kind of vibration. That the only way I can describe this is this is an outer world energy. So this isn't energy from like earth realm. This is energy from another dimension or another realm that is kind of coming through. So if you believe or are drawn to these things, you might feel connected to, like, I'm going to say starseed kind of energy, which actually weirdly this month I started looking into a little bit more. I don't know, I'm not like closed off to it, but I wouldn't say I like, I believe with certain parts potentially, but it's not something I've ever dug loads into. So it's funny this card's actually come up. So again, with that, I would say it is about opening your mind, or, you know, to possibilities, to things like beyond the physical eye, or maybe to new beliefs. And yeah, maybe you might feel drawn into that, or maybe you do have a really strong galactic or starseed connection or energy. This would be your sign to like delve into that more. And that you do have like a team, a spirit team there waiting to work with you and help. They may channel you information or guidance that could help you on the earth plane. So just bear that in mind, I'm going to say. And musically, so I'm going to say musically, this is also coming through. Here, it's not music symbols, but to me, when I looked at those straight away, I see music symbols. So I feel like frequencies and music, maybe you might, because 6 energy is also about channeling, right? I would say some of the best people that can probably channel or have that gift, whether they know it yet or have used it yet, is if you have 6 energy anywhere, okay? Because that actually, channeling, because I've written this down before, is 6 energy, right? So you could be an incredible channel, like literally a channel to channel through. You have to be careful with it. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, there may be some music, I'm going to say, or frequencies, sounds, or tones that are going to come through and maybe healing or beneficial in some way. Or if suddenly you hear a certain song or you start singing a song out of nowhere, I do this all the time, then I'm like, I write it down and I have to go and look up the song lyrics, because guess what? I'm getting messages come through. That's one way they can be delivered. Some people believe in these things like light languages, channeling. I do it in my healings. I'm not going to call it light language. I just channel. Sometimes it'll be a different sound, different voice, different language. God only knows. But it's channeling. It's super healing. It's just something that, yeah, you can channel. Don't try. I often think sometimes the things you don't really have to try to do are what comes natural. Just go with what comes natural to you. But yeah, I'm going to spend a bit more time this month on this note looking into this starseed thing, because it did come up in actually a reading someone did for me, and it kind of like just prompted me a little. So I'm thinking I'm going to explore it, because some people are really connected with some of these beings. But yeah, I just sense magical energy, guys, like real magical energy coming through. Yeah, Naomi said it's been too overcast. Yeah, I bet it, I feel like it has as well, because I just haven't got to see it. Okay, I'm gonna get one more card out, guys, and then, okay, I said one but two came out. Oh, this is called Angelic Ones. How beautiful. The colors are just so much nicer than it shows on the screen. So again, Angelic Ones is like, whether people believe in an angel or not, I do believe in, like, you know that saying when someone's like, oh, you're such an angel, like meaning outworldly, like you have such a pure heart, you do things from such a pure place, you know, for people's highest good. And it is literally that magical energy coming through, like literally something that could be unexplainable, could literally just save your life, a real divine presence around you. And if you are drawn to that angel energy, please connect with it. Then we also got, again, funny because we just mentioned this in Gemma's reading, but how beautiful. Look how innocent that little kid looks. So this is called Inner Child Attunement. So again, I really feel like 6 is nurturing energy. So maybe we are all been called, in a sense, to re-nurture ourselves and that inner child too, because we all have one. It's just, that just gives such serene, calm energies. And if you do have children as well, like just looking at the relationship you hold with them and how you're molding them and bringing them up for this world that we're currently in, because the world is pretty crazy. So yeah, just journal on a few of those prompts. So just recap these messages. Physical activity. Surrender. Syrian emissaries. By the way, if anyone feels called with any of these cards, like, you can look them up, because Leanne has done a huge, like, oh my god, like they have pages, like, you know, like in the guidebook for instance, but it's online, like they have pages of information of their own interpretation and messages and healing that these bring through. I've just gone like what I've felt drawn to today, but there are deeper meaning to those. I'm actually going to look this one up personally because I'm very intrigued. We have the angelic ones and the inner child attunement. Okay, so guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's live. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a great full moon. I know it's difficult and emotional, just struggle, but yeah, just look after yourselves. Please be kind to yourselves. I'm literally sending you all a cosmic hug and lots of love and healing out into your lives for your highest goods. I genuinely want the best for everyone. So yeah, just be kind and gentle with yourself and just nurture yourselves is what I can say. Okay, Naomi has written, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you, Naomi. I've never actually met you, but I just really feel drawn to your energy. Like, I really like your energy, and I'm so glad you found like my channel, the live. I hope you will come back to the other lives. She's also wrote a side note, a few days the Pleiadian and Lyrian and Syrian came up for me. Ooh, so would you say this month too then that you're kind of been drawn to look into these starseed ones? Because I got this reading and it told me that potentially, based on my astrology, that I could have these connections, and I think you might have said it there, Lyrian, I don't know, I just know it was like Lyrian, Lyrian or something. So I started like reading into it a bit, looking into it, and I was like, this subject, you know, when something comes up into your consciousness, and I'm like, I don't ever think anything's like, do you know what I mean? I always think things come up at like a time, or, you know, for us to like delve into a little bit more. But for me anyway, it's just sat on my consciousness, and I've like been trying to like look into it a bit more. I mean, yeah, if anyone does have any like things they can share about it, because it's not I'm gonna say like a topic that I'm like, know so much about, so confident to talk about, like, because it's just something I am aware of. But yeah, like, I don't know if you know any more about it, Naomi, or let me know. She said, yeah, the subject came up, she is now. Yeah, so that's very interesting then, that we're both like being drawn, or this has come up, because like I say, these decks of cards, there's about 80 something cards in the deck. Like, so the chances of, like, this is what I mean, guys, these messages are like, yeah. So you look, you put it there, I'm skeptical but intrigued. This is my point too, because sometimes a lot of this information online, I can't lie, it's like, I don't know how to describe. So like, people talk about like, like, I'm gonna give examples, but maybe you'll know what I mean by this. They might talk about like these star seeds, or these other places like Lemuria, Atlantis, and they get really like into it, which, okay, but I'm always like, I don't want to say skeptical, but I'm always like, look, if it comes from within, or you genuinely have an experience or some kind of calling, but sometimes I feel like some people just get like, they go with what they hear and then they make it resonate, kind of thing. And I feel like it's a hard one, because I believe like we've all probably experienced different places, different constellations, planets, lives, you know, good, bad, ugly. Like, this is just the life we're in now and experiencing. Some people will have experienced more than others, some people not. So that's why some souls are more conscious and I don't want to say advanced, but like more mature than other souls. When I say souls, I'll give you the example. Someone could be like 90 years old but be a really young soul. Just because they're old, it doesn't mean they're wise, doesn't mean they're conscious, doesn't mean, you know, they've experienced a lot in their life. They might just be older than you in the physical realm. You see what I mean? Whereas you could have a young person, say like 20 something, but they're so much more wiser and mature, and like they just know so much about the world, life. That's what I mean about soul maturity. So I definitely think there's layers to this, but yeah, this like starseed kind of thing, I'm gonna call it. It's definitely something I'm gonna dig into a little bit more. So Naomi mentioned that too. Yeah, she said, yeah, nothing more than a quick Google search on it. Exactly, and it's intriguing me. But my thing is this: when I get into something and then I start being passionate about it, like let's just say how numerology started for me, it won't just start like. When Lara goes into something, it's kind of dangerous, because I get a whole library later and years worth of, and then I get so obsessive and I read so much, like I really have to dig in, and then I'll start channeling a lot. Like I really tune into everything I can about the energy. So I'm gonna say this, maybe if we're both being drawn, and others may relate, if we've been drawn to this particular like topic with the stars, it may be that, you know, we're being called, or we have guides, you know, or something from above that is calling us into that particular energy to connect with, to help us in some way, you know? Just like we have a phone, we could pick up and call each other and be like, what's up? This is new, like, da-da-da-da-da. Obviously, a spirit and other planets and constellations, they can't just come through to us that easily and be like, hi, can we have a chat about starseeds or Lyria, whatever, you know, Pleiadians, whatever. They can't just necessarily pick up the phone and tell us that. So they have to find other ways to come into our consciousness to let us know these things. Oh, I know people probably do think I'm a crazy lady going on about all this, but I actually don't care, because I laugh at myself. If you can't laugh at yourself, like what hope have you got, right? But yeah, it does sound crazy when we talk about it, but I feel like this is probably going to go somewhere, and I'm sure we will talk about this more. But on that note, I'm going to read up the full version of this message that's channeled from this Leanne. I'm going to read up on that and yeah, see what it says, and I'm going to do some more Lyrian starseed research, because apparently that's one that I may have some connection to. So I'm gonna go figure. Yeah, Naomi, let me know if you find anything more come out, because we've probably both been called to it for a reason. That's all I can say right now. But yeah, guys, have an amazing evening. Oh, laughing to myself. I know what I'm gonna be doing for the next few hours now. It's gonna be a little rabbit hole that I'm gonna just go down, because that's how I am. I like to know everything, but I won't go too deep that I don't come back out. And I will see you guys. I will probably do another live around maybe summer solstice or the new moon, some point around then. I think I might do some other spontaneous ones, but yeah, I'll see how it goes, because I do want to do more on my channel, just so I can help more people, and it helps me too when I'm in this energy, in this flow state. Yeah, Naomi's put she's on it too. Yeah, we'll exchange notes. Okay, we'll see where this starseed topic goes. But yeah, guys, lots of love anyway, and yes, I'm gonna enjoy the moon energies. Oh wait, I have got a full moon right above me. That's actually on my wall. Okay, lots of love. Bye, guys.